I welcome all our dear devotees for Bhagavad Gita class. A small confusion which happened yesterday, not a confusion, a clarification. Yunjanevam sadatmanam yoginiyat manasah shantim nirvana paramam mat sansthamam adhigacchati. The word sada was translated as daily. So some devotees had understanding that it is 24 hours. But if you see this sloka, it says Yunjan evam. In this way. Which way? Samam kaya shiro grivam dharyana charasthiram. Sitting like this. Now you can't sit like this for 24 hours. So if you see the shloka directly, we cannot do sadhana directly. Although that is the injunction for a bhakti yogi, that by any of his activity he remembers Krishna. But if you see the shloka properly, in context here, you cannot say that 24 hours he sits like this and gazing at the tip of the nose. So when the word is yunjan evam, in this way when he is engaged, it means sada here refers to Delhi. Is it okay? Somebody, are you able to follow that? I don't want, कोई देखी, yes नहीं, कोई no नहीं, कुछ तो बोलो भाई, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है क्या?
But Prabhuji, we have seen that last previous yoga, people used to do like yoga in thousands of years. So,
what this shloka is talking about, a person who is practicing Dhyan yoga, not a person who has attained samadhi. Yunjan eva, practicing thus, practicing this way. That is, that link has from the previous shloka. Are you able to understand? We have no objection that people were practicing for 60,000 years, 1,000, but not that first day they are sitting and then they're going for 1,000 years like that. So if he gets the bliss of Atma, the realization, then his samadhi will go for a long time. But here it is referring to the practice of the sadhana. Okay? Is everyone clear about it? So here it refers to daily. Okay? Okay, some devotees are saying that they have understood. So I assume that everyone has understood. Now next we go to this. So in this shloka, the Lord is talking about eating. Eating and sleeping. So how this has to be regulated to perform yoga, Dhyan yoga here, and also Bhakti yoga, it refers to any of the yogas, will be clarified, and it's a very important point. Because some people or even some spiritual practitioners or so-called societies, they say that eating has nothing to do with yoga practice. You can eat anything and do yoga, which doesn't work like that. Lord does not say or approve of this. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, text number 16. Nati ashnatastu yogosti.
Nati asnastastu yogasti.
Na chaikantam anashnatah.
Na chaikantas anashnatah.
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य
जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन
जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुनः
नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति
नाति अस्नस्तस्तु योगस्ति
नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति
नाति अश्नतस्तु
नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति
नाति अश्नस्त।
देखो भाई, अगर बोले नहीं तो शादी नहीं होने का साथ मिल जाएगा। बोलो ठीक से तभी शादी होगी। हाँ, नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति
नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति।
अब आ रहा है नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति
नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति।
ना नहीं सुनाई पड़ा। नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति
नाति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति।
न चैकांतम अनश्नतः
न चैकांतम अनश्नतः
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य
न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य
जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन
जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन।
यह श्लोक भगवान ने 4 जून को बोला था। This shloka was spoken on 4th June, so it will only be applied after June, is it not? It is 4 June. No, it's spoken to Arjuna. Okay, let us understand this. It's actually very easy shloka to understand, difficult to apply. There is no possibility, heavy shloka, there is no possibility of once becoming a yogi, O Arjuna. If one eats too much, if one eats too much or eats too little. I'll fill up the thing. If one eats too much like Shubh Krishna or eats too little like Prem Krishna, sleeps too much like Shubh Krishna or does not sleep enough like Prem Krishna. Okay. Both of us cannot become yogis. So don't be proud in either case. If you eat too much, then also you can't be yogi. If you sleep too less, neither too less nor too much. But it is very deep statement actually. You will see, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was mentioning very nicely, for conditioned soul, it is easier to be in extremes, but difficult to be in balance. Because we are mostly influenced by passion and ignorance. There is no need for Guru, or Guru is God. So there are two extremes. So you see, the Lord is telling us a balanced path. So let us first understand the Anvay. Arjuna, O Arjuna, ati ashnatah. Our devotee who was doing Anvay, he forgot to put the word ati. So see, if you don't put the word ati, where is, I can see that devotee. So the whole meaning will change. It will be a disaster. If you remove the word ati, that means ashnatah. Any person who eats cannot do yoga. So every word, my dear devotee, I am telling with lot of affection. Is it not? With lot of sneh, I am telling that this is a major blunder. You have to be very careful. Ati ashnata. Is it not? Ati means what? Too much. So if ati is removed, then the only thing which is remaining is ashnata. So that's the meaning will be anyone who eats cannot be a yogi. So it's okay. But you have to be careful. Ati ashnataha, of one who eats too much. Yoga na asti, there is no yoga. He cannot do yoga. Tu, so that means I should eat too less. Then it says, but ekantam anashnataha. Ekanta means overly abstaining from eating. If I eat too less, nacha, then also there is no yoga. Na cha ati swapna shilasya. Swapna means dream. Dream means sleep. There is no yoga of one who sleeps too much. Jagrata eva na cha, and never for one who keeps night watch too much. Night watch means night sleep. And he does not sleep in the night like that. Let us look at the Sanskrit. Na ati ashnatastu yogosti. Na ati ashnatas. Ashna means to eat. A person who eats too much cannot perform yoga. Na chaikantam anashnataha. Also, a person who is overly not eating. Too much fasting is also not good. Na chati swapna shilasya. A person who is sleeping too much, he cannot do yoga. Jagrato naiva charjuna, if a person is too much into trying to reduce sleep unnecessarily or beyond his capacity, for him also yoga won't be possible. Have you not noticed if you have too less sleep, then chanting becomes very nice? All of you will agree, is it not? Chanting becomes extremely nice if your sleep is very less. Don't tell me about Haridas Thakurji. We are not Haridas Thakur. It is being told about practitioners. So, if we torture the body too much or overly comfort the body, in both cases yoga cannot be performed. This is the meaning of the slokas. Understood? We don't have to torture the body unnecessarily and we don't have to overly comfort the body. That okay? This is the sum and substance of the shloka. You can't just hear this. Sleep is the food of intelligence. If we don't sleep, basically we'll go mad. So it has to have, all has to be balanced. Okay. Go ahead. This is clear. Translation. Gita Bhushan commentary. Two verses describe the restrictions for the person practicing yoga. For one eating too much or not eating enough, for one sleeping too much or not sleeping enough, yoga is not possible. This also includes the items in the next verse, such as a recreation, which we'll take tomorrow. Thus, it should be understood that a person who has too much recreation unfavorable to yoga or too little recreation unfavorable to yoga cannot be a yogi, and that a person with too much or too little action cannot be a yogi. So basically, extreme of anything. What recreation is allowed for a yogi we will discuss tomorrow, not today. So today we'll focus on eating and sleeping. Regulation, purport of Srila Prabhupada. Regulation of diet and sleep is recommended herein for the yogis, and it also refers to bhakti yogis. Too much eating means eating more than is required to keep the body and soul together. So see, everybody's body is different. Some people need to eat 3 times, but for most people 2 times is sufficient. They actually eat only because they have a habit of eating. So a devotee should practice 2 times eating. But I'm not telling it as a blanket statement, because some people have acidity, hyperacidity and all those things. Then they might have to eat before and little bit. But see, as per your body, what is suitable. But you must have all noticed that as soon as we eat, we become lethargic, and we know that how, as the food goes in towards the stomach and intestines, all the blood goes from the brain, not all, but a portion of the blood goes towards the intestines to absorb the things, and all those things, the biology you know. So then we become disinclined for bhajan at that time. Is it not? All of us experience that. Like if you wake up in the morning, and the stomach is clear and everything, then you can chant and focus nicely. So this is very important. This is very important, very practical sloka for us. So even, and we are taking prasadam also, it's not that every time prasadam comes in front of us that we should start eating it. That is not good. So morning time you eat and evening time you eat. Rather you will see that your brain becomes like a clock. You'll see that. Like 9 o'clock you take prasadam. Before that you won't feel hungry also. At least in my case I see, before 9 o'clock I am not hungry. Exact 9:10 I must eat some prasadam. This is how our body becomes accustomed for that. Same like today, 4 o'clock I was not feeling hungry. Suddenly 5 o'clock I just become hungry. Take prasadam. 5:10 like, and then come for class. This is extremely important, my dear devotees, to keep good health and to promote mode of goodness. If you want to have a regular taste in chanting and hearing, we must have a regulated lifestyle. I am telling with very lot of affection, and it should be understood in that way. Some devotees will study till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the night. Then you cannot wake up in the morning. I am not chastising. You cannot wake up in the morning. And one of our other devotee here also in Govind Nivas is doing some outrageous things. Is it not till 1 o'clock he studies and then he chants his round? It's very strange, I would use the word bizarre. I hope he's not in the class. Very bizarre schedule is following. And he himself told that his intelligence is getting corrupted. I was surprised. I asked him a very simple question, is it not? Very simple question. He is not realizing it. Maybe it will hopefully not go for long. I asked, in the morning or when? Morning only. I asked a very simple question. He could not answer. देख नहीं रहे थे आप उनको? I asked a very simple question. He knows what I'm talking about. He's a very intelligent boy. The intelligence is getting corrupted because of all these things. One should not do this. Waking up till 1 o'clock and then chanting and don't do strange things. When I was very new, I asked my counselor, his name is Bhakti Rathamed Maharaj, should I wake up at 1:30 and chant my rounds and this and that? He said, no. N-O. Don't do that. Wake up at normal time, which you can maintain, and be healthy. Don't do something outrageous. It doesn't work. If we are very advanced, then you can change. Otherwise, it doesn't work like that. I tell you, I know a devotee who started doing this. 12 o'clock waking up, then chanting 64 rounds, and as he was going by bike to his bank, he fell down, had an accident. Don't do anything outrageous. That is mode of passion, not mode of goodness. So I'm not chastising, I'm just saying this bringing to your notice. It is more important that we do whatever practices we are doing, we do it day after day, anudinam. Okay? Take sufficient rest. And whatever you need to eat, you can eat, but not every time eating, all day eating. I think none of the devotees are doing it. Please raise your hand if you're eating all throughout the day. Nobody will raise hand. For such things, nobody will raise hand. See, slowly you will feel that, I have to eat. That comes by bhakti. As His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj mentions that when you fill up the diesel in your vehicle, you don't want to wait there for long. So, just to maintain the body. There is no need for men to eat animals. That is for very low class people, because there is an ample supply of grains, vegetables, fruits and milk. Such simple food stuff is considered to be in the mode of goodness according to the Bhagavad Gita. Very important instruction. Till the time we are completely realize that we are soul and not the body, we must cultivate mode of goodness. Why? What is the answer? Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. Jnanam, not kamam. Oh no! Sattva. Oh no! I have been Brahman initiated. I cannot hang myself. Sanjate kamam nahi jnanam. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. By mode of goodness, koi baat nahi, just joking. By mode of goodness, transcendental knowledge awakens in the heart. So that's why one should cultivate things, especially like all this thumbs up, etc. A devotee should not take. Hopefully nobody of thumbs up, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew. Hear very carefully. A water which has bubbles has the sin of Brahma Hatya, 1/4 sin of Brahma Hatya in it. You know that? You don't know? You know everything and still you are drinking? So don't drink that water which is impure, which has bubbles. Especially this Mountain Dew and all those things have that. From Bhagavatam we can learn this. Animal food is for those in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, those who indulge in animal food, drinking, smoking and eating food which is not first offered to Krishna will suffer sinful reactions because of eating only polluted things. So, ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. When the food is pure, then existence or the consciousness is pure. And then Dhruva Smriti, then a person can properly remember things. Not Dhruva Smriti does not mean that we remember physics and chemistry. We can actually think who we are. Food has a very strong role to play. Okay? Bhunjate tu agham papa ye pachanti atma karanat. Anyone who eats for sense pleasure or cooks for himself, not offering his food to Krishna, eats only sin. And a sinful person will not be inclined towards spirituality. So very interesting application. Even if people in your family are not devotees, you keep feeding them to the neck with Krishna Prasadam. So at least they won't eat anything nonsense and they will get purified. Eventually they will become devotees. One who eats sin and eats more than is allotted to him cannot execute perfect yoga. Now please, my dear devotees, don't go in the extreme and start eating very less. That is not the instruction. Whatever is needed for your body. It is best that one eat only the remnants of food stuff offered to Krishna. Now this may seem so innocent and simple advice. Is it not, my dear devotees? है ना, कितना simple anything. But it is not for non-devotees. It is for devotees that Prabhupada is instructing. Many devotees, especially in Grahastha life, they will go to some marriage party. And they say, Prabhuji, we are forced to it. Now, is it that two Yamdutas are opening your mouth like this and feeding all paneer sabji, rice, chapati in your mouth? Please raise your hand if somebody has forced you to eat like this ever in your life. Okay. So nobody is raising hand. Who is forcing you? Who is forcing? No one is forcing. No one is forcing. And it's not that if you go in somebody's marriage party or whichever party, first of all, you should not go to marriage party unless it's your own marriage. There is no boundary. जरूरी है, बिल्कुल नहीं है कि नहीं? So why should you have to eat there? It is not being cooked by devotees. It is not being offered to the Lord. Why should we eat? Bhunjate te dukham pa. Parents chastise. So this comment has been given by a Mataji who is only 2 years old. है ना? If you give this comment, then you won't get chastised by me. Or not me, by Krishna. Parents chastise. This Mataji was, I don't know what's her age, maybe at least beyond 25. तो 25 साल की हो गई हैं और इसलिए अब क्या कहते हैं, डांट से डर रही हैं आप. Parents will chastise only, they will not shoot you. Is it not? And Lord Himself is chastising. That we are not thinking. Lord, what is Lord is saying? Bhunjate tu agham papa ye pachant atma karana. So we should hear the chastisement of Krishna. I tell you, even as a non-devotee, I was not drinking tea. Very rarely. Maybe I can count how many times I have drunk tea. So people will offer me tea as I am pita hi nahi. They will either give me buttermilk or they will something nice or water. I don't care whatever you think, how what I eat or not drink. Is it not? I don't want to drink tea. कहते क्यों नहीं पीते? अच्छा नहीं लगता? नहीं पीते? अरे चाय नहीं पीता. Even that time he was चाय नहीं पीता. I just did not like tea. नहीं पसंद आता. नहीं क्या वो चिप मुँह में करती थी. I just felt it was just not good. Nothing to do with. People have to accept in terms. Who cares? I was just reflecting very strongly. It came to me. If I die today, what does the world care? Doesn't care. So why should I care about my principles? We should live a principle life. This is not an ordinary thing. 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐎𝐍 𝐆𝐈𝐿 न भवेद ग्राह्यम इंद्रियै 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐎𝐍 𝐆𝐈𝐿 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐎𝐍. You remember Srila Bhakti Thakur ji? As a young boy, he wanted to eat a mango, or he ate actually. He ate a mango which was not offered to Krishna. And see, he never ate mango all his life. When his father, Srila Bhakti Thakur, told that you are an offender to Krishna, so devotee should only take offered food stuff. Obviously, like you can't, like homeopathic medicine is an exception. Medicines are an exception, but food should be taken, which is offered to Krishna. Actually, it will be nice. I'm just forgetting to do that. We can have Mahaprasad water and put it in your tumbler, or what tumbler you say, and keep on drinking that. That's very powerful. Don't underestimate that. As prasadam goes into a system, we become more and more purified. Okay? This is very good. Okay. Don't underestimate it, that's what I'm trying to say. We are what we eat. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj was giving a lecture in Vrindavan. I was in that lecture. Very interesting. He said, for 7 years, if you take only prasadam, you will have prasadam cells. And bhakti will become very easy for you. It's a fact. It becomes easier and easier if you take prasadam only. So it's very, very important shloka. A person in Krishna consciousness does not eat anything which is not first offered to Krishna. Therefore, only the Krishna conscious person can attain perfection in yoga practice. Nor can one who artificially abstains from eating, manufacturing his own personal process of fasting, practice yoga. The Krishna conscious person observes fasting as it is recommended in the scriptures. That means Ekadashi, Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, like that, the days of the Lord. He does not concoct his fasting days. He does not fast or eat more than is required. And he is thus competent to perform yoga practice. So if the body is having some strength, only then you will do yoga. Hai ki nahi? As a matter of fact, if you don't eat, most probably will develop ulcers in the stomach. You know that? Yes. Man, some devotees have developed like that. Very strong devotees, but they were not eating till 64 rounds or something. Someone, Tanish Prabhu was telling his mentor or whatever, he would not eat unless he has given some class. Now that is, I don't know, now he has ulcers in the stomach and all that. Not good. So we have to live a long life and healthy life so that we can serve Krishna more. One who eats more than required will dream very much while sleeping. That's something amazing. And he must consequently sleep more than is required. This is a very interesting information. If you eat too much, will dream too much, will not have very good sleep. Please try it at home right now. Go in your kitchen after the class and find some paratha. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3, and eat a lot of paratha, and then you see wonderful sleep you will have. With me, how Krishna is so strict. If I eat one time in the night, my whole morning program gets spoiled. That's why I make sure that I eat at 5 o'clock. Some days, sometimes, fasting days like that, 1 o'clock we take prasadam, and then I become hungry. I don't become hungry at 5 o'clock, and then I become angry at night. And I've eaten some poha or something. Band baj gayi sadhana ki. This is so difficult. At least for me, I can speak. After 5 o'clock, if I eat, it's just too much for me. I'm at least not generalizing it. For some devotees, maybe okay. But even if you have to eat, it should be very little and very, supachya. It should be very digestible. I know when other devotee was making this, what is it, pongal and poha, which I like it too much. And then I will eat and thinking, kuch nahi hoga. My mind will say, nothing will happen. Don't eat. Don't worry. Eat. It will not come till the next week. You eat. And it was so difficult in the morning. Very difficult. I don't know. You also feel like that? I don't know. Eating in the night is not preferable. Everybody is different. You may be different. So we have no objection. Everybody is different. Okay. But you must think why you are like that. Maybe you are not taking at 5 o'clock. What time you take in the afternoon? And then you again become hungry in the night. But because you maybe sleep late or something like that. Good, you are regulated. So, 11 o'clock. This can open up a whole Ayurveda system on this, but if you actually sleep very late, it is not good. Actually, the difficulty is the only time you can really study is night time. That is a difficulty. Otherwise, constant, hindrances are there. And whatever is best for you, please try to do. Okay. One should not sleep more than 6 hours daily. Most of us have made 6 hours minimum. Prabhupada says more than 6 hours. That is maximum 6 hours, but you should see everybody's body is different. People who have to do more intellectual work, study more, they may have to sleep till 7 hours. Please, at least, don't start making prejudices against people. So everyone's body is different. Somebody might have to take a rest for 8 hours, some 7 or 6. My simple advice, humble advice is, okay, if you have to take rest 8 hours, fine, okay, 8 hours. But after rest of the time, you remain alert and chant Hare Krishna. Some people try to reduce it too much and then complete it during the japa. They will say, I'll sleep for 4 hours, 5 hours, and then 2 hours they will sleep in japa. Unko bol do bhai, cover ho gaya na. Because more than 6 hours is mode of whatever, ignorance. See, Prabhupada told mode of ignorance. One who sleeps more than 6 hours out of 24 hours is certainly influenced by mode of ignorance. But see your body, somebody's body may be weak, and so many considerations are there. So like that. But fact is that there are some people who go into deep sleep. That actually the point is, a person who goes into deep sleep, he becomes refreshed. So many people can't go into deep sleep. That's why they have to sleep for long. So like that. A person in the mode of ignorance is lazy and prone to sleep a great deal. Such a person cannot perform yoga. At least we should be able to wake up early in the morning. I asked one devotee, this is really laughing one. I said, the devotee finished the japa by 9:30 a.m. today. So that devotee started the japa at 3 a.m. 4 a.m. something. I'm like, how much time it takes to chant one round? It's 10 minutes. I'm like, same with me, 9 minutes, 10 minutes like that. Maximum 2.5 hours. Then devotee told, after 4 rounds, I sleep again. Stupid. I don't know what is the situation with the body. Little stupidity. If you cannot wake up at 4 a.m., then wake up at 5 a.m. and chant non-stop. Why you're struggling with their bodies? Everybody's body is different. That devotee is not able to sleep till 12:30, whatever, because of the body. First of all, fix yourself in the sense ki, is there some health issue? Then you fix yourself. But not that wake up at 4 a.m. Everybody is waking up 4 a.m. You wake up at 4 a.m. Then you chant 4 rounds and sleep, and then again you wake up, and then this is not how you do sadhana. So you can see it's all very complicated. So what did we learn? Regulation. And we were not, we in this solemn assembly, we vow and we pledge that we will never apply this shloka. We only heard it, and it's only for hearing, for discussion, but we will never apply. Hai na? Bhagavad Gita is only for that. So we learn like that, having some regulation in food, and you see how it, and sleeping also. One point I forgot about sleeping was, I was mentioning sleeping is a function of your intelligence. Yes, and through intelligence you are controlling your mind. So if the intelligence becomes weak, mind takes over. Do you agree? And many times we become chidchada, how to say it? Irritable if we don't sleep. Then we'll commit offenses to devotees also. Particularly, if I'm sleepy, especially like I know how my body is like, an afternoon I have to take rest. If I am taking rest, or if I'm not taking rest, I just cannot function. All the unwise and nothing just makes sense to me. My intelligence doesn't work, at least my body, I am accustomed to that. So I have to take rest. Then I feel fresh. I am like that. So everybody's body is different. Some people do not feel any need for sleep during the day. So it is all different. Everybody's body is different. Customization is there, but not that we don't sleep all throughout the night. That is not good. That is very bad for your body. Okay? So please take care, and we meet tomorrow morning. Krishna willing. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, 𝐡𝐢𝐭𝐚 𝐂𝐻𝐍. Oh, what is that? Even if I am cooking for Krishna, I am cooking what I want to eat. Will that be considered a service? Yes. Whatever you eat, you offer to me. And also think about that. Make it from a different angle. This is very nice. Hear it very carefully. This is Lord Krishna's statement in 11th canto. Whatever you are making is very nice. Obviously, because you are making, that may be a different version. But all of us, especially when you are making for yourself, do you have this conception, this paratha, khichdi, chawal, pakoda, jo kuch? This is very nice. It's obvious, is it not? And if with this attitude that this is very nice and Krishna will be happy by this, 𝐸𝐻𝐿 𝐴𝐻𝐿 𝐵𝐴, by that a person will get eternal life. Obviously, that instruction of the Lord is also there. But because you are not eating before the Lord, that is your Krishna consciousness, that is your bhakti. Okay? So let's stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Oh, that devotee.